Hi, today we are going to be doing adding and subtracting negative mixed numbers. So our first problem we have is 3 1/2 minus 5 2/3. The first step we need to do is change the subtraction sign to adding an opposite. So you'll change 5 2/3 to negative and change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. Now we are able to start our problem. So the first thing we need to do to figure out this problem is find a least common denominator, because we cannot add two different things like 2/3 and 1/2. To find the least common denominator, we will use the listing method. We will list the factors. So the factors of 3 are 3, 6, and 9. And the factors of 2 are 2, 4, and 6. By the way, these can go on and on, but we're just going to look at these three. So if we find out which denominator 2 and 3 have in common, it would be 6. And that is the least common denominator. So now that we have found the least common denominator, we can add it into our problem. So we would put the 6 here and the 6 here. It is equal. And now we need to figure out what we multiply the 2 by to get the 6, so that we can do the same thing with the numerator as we did with the denominator. So we multiplied 2 times 3 to get 6, so we need to do the same with the 1. And 1 times 3 is 3, so that's 3 6. And make sure that you bring the whole number over 2. Now, what did we multiply by 3 to get to 6? We multiplied by 2. So we multiply by 2 there, and that equals 6. So we would do the same with the numerator. So multiply that by 2, and that's 4. And make sure to carry over the whole number. Now that we have our problem set up, we need to keep in mind that whenever we are adding two numbers with different signs, that we are basically subtracting in our minds. So instead of adding these problems together, we need to subtract, knowing that there are more negative numbers, so the answer will end up being negative. So first we'll subtract the whole numbers. So 5 minus 3 is 2. And now we will subtract the fractions. So we just subtract the numerators and keep the common denominator the same. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So, and if we look at the answer, we don't have to do any simplifying. So our answer is negative 2 and 1/6. The next problem we have is negative 9 minus 5 7/8. Again, the first thing we need to do for this problem is change the subtraction to plus the opposite. So 5 7/8 would become negative. Alright, now we can solve the problem. So the next step we need to do to set up the problem is to do big minus little. And so we would do negative 9 because it's bigger, and 0/8 because it doesn't have a fraction, and that's the denominator that 5 7/8 has, so it would make it easier when we're going to add. Negative 9 and 0/8 plus negative 5 7/8. So the next step would be to change the denominators so that they're alike, but they're the same. So we can just go and add. So we know the problem is going to be negative because they are both negatives. So 9 plus 5 is 14 when we add the whole numbers. And when we add the fractions, 0 plus 7 is 7. And we keep the common denominator the same. So it is negative 14 and 7/8. And we cannot simplify that at all, so that is our answer. Thank you.